No, thanks for having us, Dark Matter. We're at the Dark Matter space to talk about seasons. I think what I wanted to just start with is the meaning of the title and the project. What this means and what's represented in the project. Both I don't know if Boathouse had a hand in naming it or it was brought to you with a name, but I'd love to know Truth and Clev. Start with what when in the process you made this title and why it fits this project and boat. And then I'd love to hear how you interpret it and made it your own. So I don't know if whoever wants to start.
Came up with it, right?
Yeah, it started off as sticky pack. That's what it started off like when he
The
first
smack pack.
smack
That both
yeah.
sent over. Yeah.
When he it was sticky pack. When he sent that in the in through the email, like we just freestyled to everything, and that was the energy. Like originally we were just working on the album, which slated for later on, but we was like, yo, we need something that's like just to get this energy off. And when it comes to just like Chicago music, I felt like we both felt like we haven't really like given Chicago all that is Mother Nature, like really put our full personality on display, raise that bar, set a bar. And so Seasons was that opportunity. And when it came to the name, T, you can bring
Like
me
all
back.
names have come to Mother Nature. It was just like a phrase that was said, and it was like, oh, that needs to be what this is called. In regards to seasons, like being connected to the project, though, it was just us like being fully confident, being fully aware of what the mission is, what the vision is of what we do. And then just allowing like no stone to be left unturned during this whole project. So I think Seasons gives you a wide array of all that is Mother Nature, from the boom bap, the hard hitting bars, the messaging, the melodics, all those different types of things in one project. So I think Seasons just felt the best, and of course Mother Nature it went with the on brand tailoring. So
Yeah. I think when you guys are talking about like giving Chicago like what Mother Nature is too, I guess I kind of took that upon myself too to just sort of dial into the type of music that I want to make as well. And I guess that's why there's such a wide variety of like sonics and different types of songs on this project. Is like I wanted to, I guess, treat it the same way as sort of, I guess, reintroduction to Boathouse and like the capabilities that I can bring to the table as well. So, yeah, I mean, I think the name itself just fits the kind of vibe. Like the seasons come and the seasons go. When a season is here, you're in that season. So it's kind of like a cool feeling to just like show up. We're here now. Put this out. Take it in.
Yeah. I mean, I know from when quarantine started is when Boat, you and I talked a lot about, all right, let's use this time to make beats and let's just start getting them out. And for Mother Nature, we were working on a project that it didn't get scrapped. It came out, but a lot of the ideas we had to be reconfigured. Was it tough to get back to work or and make this? At what point in this whole COVID thing did this become not just Boat sending you beats, but there was a light bulb of, okay, we could actually make something of this?
probably the process of like working on an album while we were doing a million other things at the same time, and not being able to totally focus. Also, like we were saying earlier, like having that energy that was still like embedded somewhere that we still needed to get off. So I don't think it was a issue of like getting back to work, because we never really stopped. So I think it was a thing of us just allowing that energy to just like feed it. You know what I'm saying? Don't run from it. Don't feel like we have to manipulate it in some type of way. And it was crazy because we had already had boats packed from like a year prior.
Yeah.
So we had already freestyled to some stuff. Like had a good chunk of like what this was supposed to be and the energy. So with us like coming into that, in life, and then rerunning into these beats, it was just like, oh, this is perfect for what we need to do. So
yeah, and I think those moments come exactly when they're supposed to. It's just kind of like a seed that's planted in me or her or both of us at the same time, and then once we get together and we just start kicking ideas or just start talking about like our path and where we are on it, like those things just kind of emerge. And when those ideas come, we know it's a good look. And it was just like, man, that would be perfect. Like us, Boat, closed sessions, like we gotta push forward with this. And then the concepts start building, and then we already have a couple songs, but then new songs start emerging, and it's a really cool process of creation. And I think that we got to revisit how that felt. It like we're always creating together, but this for some reason was very reminiscent of our first project together. And so I think that it just like sparked something new again. And yeah, it's really like perfect and divine. It kind of feels that way.
Yeah. The one producer, one artist or group is a, I don't know, I lack a better word, but not a maybe staple of hip hop, like music and culture, the genre. And there's a long list of classic projects with that setup. And I know classic groups. You all are students of hip hop, not just MCs, but have said in the music interviews I've read, you want to contribute to the overall canon. Was that in your thoughts of adding this with this setup and this thing with Boat? Was there a thought of like, okay, we're gonna approach this in that same vein? Bo, did you use any of the other examples or get into that mode as well of the one producer, one group or one MC type thing?
Yeah. I always think about like, I mean, those are my favorite hip hop albums. I think are like the ones that are a sound by one producer, even maybe one group of producers. Even like the Freddie Gibbs and Madlib's is a perfect example. Alchemist does it all the time, of course. But like even like down to like the Kendricks and the Top Dog Entertainment stuff, it's like they have their group of guys that they work with, and I like that sound. Like I like the cohesiveness, and you get like more personality that way. So yeah, I mean, I guess when I'm thinking about like doing this project with them, it was kind of like I want to just tap into that and just be myself, first and foremost, and just contribute what I think is the best thing for them. And working with them is super easy too, because I sent them the pack like they said, and they got cooking on it, and I just kind of waited, like I didn't push for anything. It's important for me to like kind of just let things happen how they happen, and just chime in when I think I'm supposed to chime in. And I see that a lot with those producer rapper albums, is just like they lock in, there's a synergy. So I sent them the pack, and they just kind of I didn't push for anything. I wasn't like let's do this, let's knock this out. Like just put it out there, and it's like whenever y'all ready, like I'm ready. So just let me know, and we'll just get going like that. So yeah.
I say we've been like true to it for a while. Even like we have DJ Simba of Huey Gang, who we rock with on stage. He's been with us for like 3 years now as Mother Nature. And even before that, like when we first started, it kind of started off as like we'll always have a DJ. And we've done the band thing, you feel me, but we've always had a DJ. But what we've never done is worked with a producer exclusively. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's always been spread out from the with the gang, Great Thinkers, couple homies, you know what I'm saying, who we know individually, bringing them together, and on Mother Nature. This is our first opportunity to like, shape something with a producer. And we knew it was gonna be popping when we first got in the studio with you and we did the Naughty by Nature joint.
Yeah.
That was ill, because we were like, whoa, this is a vibe. Like
we did 4 that day too.
Yeah, we did 4 that day, and then we got back in studio and we worked with a Johnny.
Yep.
And so it was just like, man, these are the chemistry was already building and brewing. So I think that this definitely encourages us to like make way like more seasons with him, like more seasons to come. But also like, trying that, experimenting with that, like working with different producers for different EPs, and really finding out like, it brings out more in you and allows you to have more personality on a particular project. So yeah,
Definitely when you're talking about adding to the canon though, I think that's always embedded in like how we create music in the first place. It's like just trying to outdo yourself. I think that's how you start to add like a particular dynamic to, you know, the tapestry that is hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So I think with us coming in with that mindset of just outdoing ourselves, just putting everything, leaving everything on the paper, on the mic type of thing, I think that it immediately just allowed us to just I don't know, just write our little hand script, you know, in the testimony of hip hop. And Bo definitely just gave us that landscape to do that. So I think it was just a dope, like, divine alignment for us to all come together on this project.
Yeah, I wanted to ask all of you this question about each other. I'll start maybe with Boat and put you on the spot first.
Sure.
But what's something you've learned about Clever and Truth through this process? And I know you send beats to a lot of people and you decide, all right, we'll send this here, this here, this here. Is there anything you've learned about Truth and Clever through this process, them as MCs or creatives, where it's like, okay, this is perfect for them? Or I'm just curious, what have you learned about them?
I mean, I think I learned that I guess they put a lot into their projects and they do a lot of different projects at the same time, which is like, I guess kind of how I have to be as a producer too. So I learning that from them, that they really take a lot of pride in like the things that they put their hands into, like whether it's their education stuff, the charity work, whatever, and especially the music. I think they really dive headfirst into things. I will also say that like I guess I didn't really I got to experience it, right? Like I got to experience it firsthand. I didn't really get to I didn't learn anything new. Like I knew that they were about it. So experiencing it was something that I got to take in. And I already knew that they were dope at rapping. I knew they could rap on anything. So yeah, I don't know. I just experience was the main thing that I gained from this, just being able to work very closely with them and discuss everything from top to bottom. So yeah.
Thank you. Truth, Clev, is there anything you've learned about Boat, or in your mind, do you find is there a parallel thing running through all of his production or his beats?
Man, I feel like he's very much so like he's a student of the game as well. So I think it's dope to like when students come together, it's just like, okay, what you learn? So we all come together and like can create, you know, this beautiful thing. But Boat is like, he's a very good communicator. He's very just versed on what he does. You know what I'm saying? That's great for MCs, especially to working at the caliber that we do, to be able to go in the studio and we can knock out, you know, 3-4 records in a session because we both in alignment on that, and like being able to like know, okay, like we've been on here for a minute, let's switch up, let's do this. I love his pace in the studio. I think we got to experience just like how broad of a range he has in regards to his production. I still think we're still at the tip of the iceberg with that. But man, like we love Bo. Like he's just a wonderful person to be around. Period. In the studio, like
Bo is cool.
Man,
like,
really
Bo is super cool.
You know, he makes a good breakfast sandwich.
Yes,
You
he
feel?
makes
Yeah.
Damn, man, I've known you like a long time. I not one breakfast sandwich. So many times you've watched my dog, I would come back and maybe expect a breakfast sandwich, and there's nothing.
When you're in a rush, I don't want to like, hey, come in. You know, I know you're in a rush. You got things to do. So
Got you.
I appreciate that.
So I've been working with Mother Nature about a year and a half, maybe closer to, you know, coming up on 2 years at the end of this year. Bo, we've been working together a long time. I know Mother Nature previously have been working for a while, and you moved to Chicago. Bo, you're not from here. You moved to Chicago. Truth, you came back. Can you talk a little bit about the endurance that it's taken? You know, this hasn't been overnight. I feel some of the things we wanted to do with Portals is now manifesting now. Bo, you and I have talked about things like this. Does it make the success of this any different, or the things we're getting now? What did it take to like really invest in this Chicago community and make it this to this point?
Got it out the mud.
Man, I feel definitely it feels different because we've worked so long for it, and like you know how each project this gonna be the one,
Yeah.
like. But this one definitely it felt like it was our realest rollout. You know what I'm saying? We got everything off that we wanted to. We made some dope partnerships along the way. Like y'all was able to do all that y'all can in regards to like helping push and promote it. Like everybody was just in their chair doing what they had to do. So I think off bat that immediately made it feel like, man, we are actually doing this. And then to see and to look back at the longevity, like the road that has been taken and like where we started and all those things, man, like it's definitely like a long time coming. But it's not surprising. It's not like, oh my God, I can't believe we here. Just like, okay, we here.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like just continuing to push and mold one another. And just stay on our guided path. Cause that's the thing. Like as much as this music is like us just expressing and knowing that, you know, these are messages that we need to put out, it's for, you know, us as much as it is for those consuming it. So I think that's why we so connected to the Chicago community due to the fact that we see so many ills going on. We tap into like what we hear and consume on a daily basis, and everything just is not serving us in a way that's like helping us elevate. So I think us being committed to Chicago in this way through the music, through the miseducation of hip hop, allows us to just be that force of like positivity at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Showing you that you can be dope, we can DIY, we can, you know, we can do this, do that, but still connecting to the community in so many ways, and like just showing you how powerful you are and your cipher is and all those types of things. I think we're just trying to be an example as much as we can, to be honest. So
Yeah, it's been a long time coming for sure.
yeah.
You know, this feels like I think I'm most proud of this work. Like putting the time into it.
Yeah.
It feels like there's actual personality that I put into it. And just tapping in with these two individuals is just something I can really like rest my hat on and be proud of. So
Facts.
yeah.
Facts. Job well done.
Yeah. I keep thinking back to one of the first times we met, and you were talking about Public Enemy, and then to hear like Chuck D fully butcher everything, but fully, you know, but he really like set everything. I mean, he talked for like 2 minutes about you. That must have felt pretty good.
Oh yeah, I instantly hit up my dad like, yo, like, this is crazy. Like, man, like Chuck D, Public Enemy. I'm a little hip hop nerd baby, so it's like I was probably like 8, 9, or 10, like reciting Terminator X. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that was a really really good full circle moment for me and my pops. You know. Speaking of, you know, the last question you asked, like the endurance, of course, being here in Chicago, but just like hip hop is our life, you know what I'm saying? This is what we live and breathe, born into it type of thing. So it's like to be able to share these experiences with the people who have, you know, been supporting us for so long, who believe in us, who have seen the patterns and seen, you know what I'm saying, all the things that we've sacrificed, and, you know, just having to lock in, you know, people don't always lock in and chase their dreams. So it's just like, man, that whole Chuck D thing, I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, wow, like dreams really come true. You know what I'm saying? This is the reality we live in. It's just motivation and like keep going, go harder, you know, reach more people and reach more legends. Like we want to work with legends. That is big on our list. Like, that's where we see ourselves. So that was just a nice representation of like where we headed for real.
I think that's the most important part to me too, is the recognition from people that I looked up to once, you know. I would rather take that than any monetary kind of reward, you know. Obviously that comes with the territory, you know. I'll take some of that too. But the most important thing is recognition. I would like to look at people that I looked up to as peers, you know. So I mean, that was definitely a moment for sure where it was like, that's crazy. Wow. It's like saying our project. We're trying to.
SZNZ.
He spelled it out.
Add an extra S or something on there. I'm like, he said.
He spelled it out so people can, you know, search it up, you know.
Right.
Yeah. And Champaign has a great community radio station.
I was like, history. I was like, let's go. That was really cool.
The last couple questions. This was made during quarantine and COVID, and what happened over the summer. with George Floyd, we had a whole meeting. I remember saying how we were gonna. I think we had a video out right around the time George Floyd was murdered, and we just all decided, let's like just not talk about music for a second. And then the presidential election, what happened with all that. But this project, whereas some of them, that's the subject matter, it's very dark. This is a very bright project. Was there any conscious decisions of what to let in from the outside world and what to keep out? It's not bogged down by we're all stuck inside and there's all these social issues happening. It's kind of like an evergreen. It can have. It's not locked in this time period. Was that a conscious decision or no? Did those things weigh on you guys?
Definitely weighed on us for sure, but I think we were just so in our own little bubble at the time, so it was just. And plus, like if you know Mother Nature, you can go back in the catalog and see, us tackling different, subject matters and things that are kind of heavier. And we just wanted to be light on this, Same with us coming off Portals and stuff like that. We wanted to keep that same light energy. Still giving you messaging, still giving you the grit of it, but let's present it in a way that's inviting. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because these still are very dense. Tracks that allow for different conversations to be had, but it's definitely was man, let's have fun, let's tee up, you know what I'm saying, let's do what we do, you know what I'm saying, because we already know what's going on. We don't need another reminder, let's give antidotes and solutions, rather than bogged down on the heavy stuff. So
I would say we're very grounded in our spirituality. We're very grounded in our work and our soul work. Mm-hmm. So everything that we do with the Miseducation, and everything that we do with our cipher and just how we interact with people, I think that we move in revolution. You know what I'm saying? Our music is revolutionary in that sense. And so because we're grounded in that, it allows us to take flight in other areas. Mm-hmm. And we haven't had a project yet where we just talking our shit, where we just really are celebrating who we are, mm-hmm. celebrating our sisterhood, mm-hmm. Our abilities to just to rhyme and to flip things and to reflect the times. We still reflecting the times, but we do it in a way, like she said, that's inviting, because we will bar you up. You feel me? We will bar you up and we'll get in your face with it, and you might not know what to do with it. So that's always the science of Mother Nature, is the proper blend of each element, the proper blend of each season. We want to make sure that it's something that communicates the message, but also that you can it's your favorite song. We need that too.
Right. Subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
Boat, for you, kind of similar question. I mean, obviously you're not a vocalist, but you give artists production and hope they say something, I guess, worthwhile. I mean, what does it feel good to be attached to what Mother Nature is talking about, and aligning yourself or how your production was used?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's always, I think, what I seek out as a producer, is to attach myself to artists that have things to say, and have some type of message, these two especially, a positive message, at the end of the day. That's important, I think you got to think that way as a producer. You can't just, I don't like to at least just throw beats around and just attach myself to something negative. And yeah, I mean, especially as just a white guy in hip hop too, I have to support voices that are important and have important things to say and do important things for hip hop culture. Mm-hmm. That's important to me, and I've always kind of had that kind of mindset, I think, when I'm deciding who to work with or whatever the case, And they got to be dope too, of course,
Yeah.
You can't just, there's always that too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I first met, when I met you, Truth and Clever, and was getting in, and Kat sent me the music. I mean, part of it was, first and foremost, it was it's just great music and great MCs. But I think what got me inspired and excited, and I've told you this, in different times, but from real low at that period to excited and wanting to work with you and put all of what I can bring to your music, it really was the rawness of the raps, the conversations we had about hip hop, and the history that we all shared, that we all loved. There was a desire that I felt from you guys to, like, you know, we didn't really say this explicitly back then, but like, yeah, we want, you know, Chuck D to know our names. And that was something that drove me from the beginning. I remember telling you Static Selector is going to play your record. And it wasn't just, oh, this will be on Shade 45, but it's like, oh, we know, you know, we heard of them. So that's what really drew me, and I think with Boat too, like attaching to what you guys are as people and what you bring to the table was the defining characteristic. So that was just the trifecta of the rawness, the style, the understanding of where we fit into a broader thing, and then lastly, like what you're actually saying. And so I'm just glad to put this out and have this chat with you guys at Dark Matter.
Yeah, this was
Thank
awesome.
you.
Appreciate you.
Awesome.
Feel me?
Mother Nature blend.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Thank you so much.
Yeah.